Hey YouTube, Jay Kilroy here, back in the shop. After a long hiatus, of which I apologize, thanks to everyone that wrote emails, checking on me, making sure everything was okay. Everything's great. Been busy as one-legged paper hanger, right? So, done a bunch of work in the shop, but just not work that I really thought anybody would find interesting. This is like plumbing, fixing plumbing, air conditioning. Been a big project going on here to replace my 5-ton central air with a couple of mini splits. So I started that project. And you know how it is. One project begets another project, and so on and so forth. In my specific case, I took my 5-ton unit out and I decided, okay, I'm gonna mount these mini splits on the wall. I'm gonna go to run my line sets. And then I'm like, well, you know, I'm running my line sets up the north side of the building, and I'm gonna build a porch on the north side of the building, and I really would hate it if I ran the line sets and then it was in the way of something on the porch. So I said, well, I better get a start on the porch. So I go back there and I said, well, before I can do the porch, I gotta pour this end of this pad that's behind the building, pour some concrete. Before I can really do the concrete, I gotta fix this water line, main water line coming into the building that had been just hodgepodged up. Then when I was in the middle of fixing the water line and redoing the water line into the building, I found out that the water meter was leaking. So I had to replace the water meter. Well, I had to fix that leak, and then the city decided that they wanted to replace the meter. And so anyway, I got all that done. Well, no, I got the water meter's replaced, the water leak's fixed, the water main is fixed, redone, coming into the building. I'm partially through with mounting the mini splits and running various line sets. That's, you know, like I said, this is all work that's not really shop related. But the big shop project going on recently has been the hydraulic press project. And as you might guess, sitting in front of me right here is a new acquisition for the hydraulic press project. This is a Rexroth, Bosch Rexroth, variable displacement piston pump that I purchased on eBay, brand new, tag still on it, for a ridiculously low amount of money. I don't even know if I should tell you. It's one of those deals that's so good, either I should have worn a mask when I pressed buy because I robbed that dude, or he was wearing the mask when he listed it, because this is actually a nice looking pump with junk internals, right? I am going to refer you to a video done by none other than AVE on this type of pump, where he did his usual complete teardown. Link above. If you think for 1 second that we're going to have a treat special and that I'm going to take this apart, you're wrong. It's going to stay exactly the way it is right here, all put together. So a retail price on something like this is, I don't know, $3 grand, $3,500, I'm not sure, right? I paid 150 bucks. Free shipping. Boggles the mind. Anyway, I'm gonna take a picture of the nameplate here, put it on the video, and then we're gonna go back to the computer and we're gonna look up, this is a current product. We're gonna look up the specs for this, and we're gonna discuss this pump as it applies to my project, my hydraulic press project, and what we'll have to do to accommodate, to utilize this fabulous piece of technology on this project. So let's go do that now. All right, we're over at the computer, and I got the PDF for the pump up, so we can go over some specs here.
It's a Series 31 A10V axial piston variable pump by Bosch Rexroth. Nominal pressure 4100 psi, 280 bar. Maximum pressure 5100 psi. But notice how they quote that maximum pressure. Maximum pressure corresponds to the maximum working pressure within the single operating period. The sum of the single operating periods must not exceed the total operating period. The single operating period, I'm assuming, is 2 milliseconds. Like right here. That's 2 milliseconds? In a total operating period of 300 hours? Well, anyway. In other words, don't get anywhere near this. Minimum pressure, 145 psi. Rate of pressure change. This is pretty amazing here. Maximum permissible speed of pressure buildup, 232,060 psi per second. That's pretty amazing. They talk about, minimum pressures, maximum pressures, suction port, leakage pressure. This is the pressure that comes out of the case drain. Anyway, lots of other stuff over here. Flow. But there's a chart down here, and this is where we're going. Now, the one I got here is a 28 cc, second from the smallest size, or 1.71 cubic inches per revolution. Maximum rotational speed, 3,000 nominal. Max permitted, I guess, 3,600. I'm going to run it at 1,800 RPM motor, so that doesn't matter. But look at this. Flow in gallons per minute at this number here, 3,000 RPM, is 22 GPM. At 1,800 GPM, 1,800 RPM here, your maximum flow is 13.3 gallons a minute. Now, how much horsepower will that take? Well, power. At that 3,000, if you want to pump 22 GPM, you need 52 horsepower. Wow. That's a lot. So like AVE says in his video, these things will absorb tremendous amounts of power. At 1,800 RPM, if you want to get this maximum flow of 13.3 gallons per minute at the nominal 4,100, you're going to need 31 horsepower, right? So these things will suck up a lot of power. I don't plan on using 52 or 31 horsepower for that matter. I've got a used motor already in my inventory that's a 25 horsepower C-face motor, 1,750 RPM C-face motor from work done long ago in a galaxy far away. So I'm thinking I'm going to use that. So, excuse me, with that, I'm going to get somewhat less than this flow here. 13.3 gallons per minute with 25 horsepower motor. Probably be in the 10 to 11, 12 gallon per minute range, right? All right, just to review, here's the CAD for the press project as it sits. I went ahead and drew out the cylinder. Let me get you a better view of that. I went ahead, I have it mounted up in there yet. Right, I went ahead and drew out the cylinder, roughed out the cylinder, the actual size of the cylinder that I have. For your reference, this distance here to this distance here, that's 31 inches, 31 and an eighth inch right there. That's how long the cylinder is that way. It's 12 3/4 inches on the square, and this is the size of the cylinder rod when fully retracted. So this is how the thing sits right now. got to figure out how I'm going to mount it in there. Whether or not I'm going to modify these plates, or whether or not I'm just going to build something to come up here and capture the pin mount that's already there on the cylinder. All of this material here that makes up all these parts is 1-inch flat. So what I plan on doing is buying a couple sheets of a couple 4x8 sheets of 1-inch, and just having most of these parts plasma cut out and or flame cut or whatever, however they want to do it, before assembly. For reference, this is 6-inch wide flat right here. The width of the pieces here at the outside is 72 inches, which gives you, what, 50 something. Take a foot away from that, gives you about 60 inches inside the uprights. It's pretty wide. I think we got 19 inches inside the uprights there. So it's going to be a big old honking press. There's no doubt about that. And anybody wants to provide input and feedback, that's always welcome. These are 2-inch pins right here that will go through here. And while I was thinking, originally I was thinking I would just use similar 2-inch pins in the top just to capture the top, and then possibly be able to lower the top as opposed to raising the bottom. But I'm not going to mess with any of that. I'm going to change this to a more conventional bolted connection with smaller fasteners rather than big monster 2-inch pins or anything. I'll probably change this to like 6 1-inch bolts or something like that. So I'll have to change my CAD. So that's what it looks like right there. You know, it will certainly be a house when it is done, but I haven't done the feet and legs and all that stuff yet, but you know, details, no big deal there. So let's go back to the bench.
So there you go. A little look at the pump and the CAD. Have been traveling a lot. It's one of the reasons I've been in the shop as much. Anybody that follows my Facebook, please feel free to send me a friend request if you'd like to follow my Facebook page, or knows I've been out on the road quite a bit, so I've been keeping me out of the shop. Plus, it's hunting season coming around, so it's a time when I'll start spending some time in the woods, spending some time with the children, taking the children out, a little sporting adventure. It's always nice. Again, always looking for feedback, and you know, one of the reasons I haven't been moving as quickly on this product as I'd like is yeah, everything's expensive. We could have a whole discussion about the price of steel, but it's gone up a lot, right? By the time I'm done with this project, I'll probably be, you know, into $3,000 into steel, just steel. You know, not to mention cylinder, valves, hoses, hardware, everything else. I would expect that when I'm done, and we can review this when we're done. How about that? That'll be something to be interesting. We can look at the actual cost when we're done versus the kind of estimated cost. I would estimate that by the time I'm completely through with this project, I'll probably have 5,000 in that press, right? Could have a lot more if I wasn't quite so resourceful with my use of eBay and other methodologies to acquire the materials that are needed. Let's see if Rosie wants to make an appearance. Rosie, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. She come here. Get up here. She's looking at me. Come on. There we go. All right. Arr, arr, arr. See if Rosie wanted to say hi, since I haven't been on the video in a while. Neither is Rosie. Arr, arr, arr. Don't bite me. Okay, here you go. Anyway, I want to get back to making videos on a regular basis, get back out in front of my friends, because you guys are, and gals, are my friends, my acquaintances. I always look forward to hearing from you. So look forward to seeing more, and be safe in the shop, and I'll be back with you soon.